Hey everybody, hope you guys are all doing okay. Welcome back to Let's Play Siralim Ultimate. This is the first episode that we're doing since taking down the Construct Master, which, once again, I'll remind you, has completed the entire Master Achievement section, which was the second most dense segment in terms of just how many achievements there were. The number one, of course, is the God achievements. We got those done a while back. Now the Master achievements are done. And in between just those two, which gives you about 3,100 achievements, out of the just under 5,100 achievements, just those two are like 30% of the entire... It wouldn't even be... it would be 60% of the entire achievements in the game in just those two categories, and both of them are now at 100%. Of course, there's a lot left to do. It's going to take a long time. A lot of it will be very grindy, but we'll get through it slowly. The next set of achievements that we need to start chipping away at, which we've been chipping away at, are the character achievements, and specifically the achievements for winning 100 rounds as all the different characters. We have a good party that we can just take any random class, and we don't have to worry about creating, a build based on that class. We can just go with our Blight Fermented Hops party, and it works. And I think we're close to beating the 100th realm as the Druid, so that's gonna be nice. So, as mentioned, we got this mastery achievement situation completed, and I said that if it got completed, and it seemed like the next patch wasn't about to come out soon, that we'd be doing 3 episodes a week instead of 5. Just because I think the only things left are the grindy achievements, and 5 episodes a week of doing just that, I think we would both get burned out on the series, so we'll scale it back a little bit. The next patch, we're all obviously waiting quite impatiently for it to come out, but we've got to be patient, because I've been reading the updates that the dev is putting out, and it's clear that this is a huge undertaking to bring this game into its 2.0 state, and there's a lot of bugs that need to be fixed. It could take a couple of weeks. It could even take maybe a month or more. So we've just gotta... in the meantime, we just gotta be a bit patient, right? And, if that means we've gotta, ease off on the content, not stopping playing obviously, but maybe having fewer hours a week while we're waiting for the patch to get done, then that's just fine. Then I am totally fine with that, right? So in this episode, we're just gonna continue. I think these episodes are gonna be pretty chill. The one advantage to having all of this done is, and especially if we're only doing 3 episodes a week, is that the episodes themselves are going to be very relaxed. We're not going to be worried about, I've got the number of realms I'm doing per hour is raising or lowering my chances of finding rare masters. No, we don't have to worry about that. We can just take our time. We do want to be a little bit efficient when it comes to the Rune of Prophecies, but even that, right? Even that, we're not that worried, right? But we're just gonna dive into some random realms, and I think we'll be killing, let's say, 2 false gods per episode instead of 3, because that feels like a good amount of stuff. Ooh, nice nether realm right off the bat. Do I wanna... We don't really get very much, but I guess I'll do all of these. Some of these will give us combat, which was the main reason I was hesitant to do this, because combat does slow things down. But, you know what, a little bit of loot Why not? Right, got that done, and let's just get going. You know, we'll make our little bit of progress in this episode. Oh yeah, we got to collect anointments as well. That's the other thing that we need to be making progress on. We could hand in an experiment for sure, and see if maybe we'll do the second experiment. Maybe we will, maybe we won't. And we'll be fighting masters. It does feel really good to have the construct master, the hunt for the construct master finally behind us. And just enjoy the game without any pressure. Yeah, sorry. I was just remembering just how long it took us, like hundreds of episodes that it took to finally find this guy for the 10th and final time. I guess hundreds of episodes to find him 10 times. In terms of just to find him for the 10th time after finding him 9 times, that took a couple of weeks. But, you know, multiply a couple of weeks by 10, and then that gives you an idea of how long you would expect to take to find this guy 10 times. And that's what we went through. Alright, what are we doing in this round? We're settling a dispute, which I think we should be able to. There's one more house. One more house, and hopefully that should end it. Okay, easy. And let's just continue. Do we hang on? Do we have to do candle farming? No, we don't. That's good. So we can just continue on and hope to find these enemies, hope to get these enemies killed just naturally as we progress through the rounds. Alright. Let's hand in this experiment, start another experiment, and let's continue on through. So, what to do, what to say. I feel like I've been focused in such a single-minded way on getting the construct master tracked down that now that it's done, I just need to relearn how to talk about this game, if that makes sense. How to, you know, how to appreciate the little moments and the little things in this game without everything being overshadowed by this, you know, very long, very arduous quest that we were on. And I think it starts with, again, little things like just getting immersed in the game and noticing the aesthetics of the different realms, right? Like, one thing I don't talk about often is when you get into combat, the background that it shows you is a pretty good piece of artwork that matches the realm you're in. And the next combat we get into, I'll call attention to it. Here you can see there are enemies there, but once we kill them, we'll be able to notice the background, and that's pretty well drawn. And there's all kinds of skulls, You can notice there are skulls clearly of different types of species. Like to the right, there's some kind of bird type thing. Some of them have horns. Some of them have some of them are like humanoid. And there are other bones as well, not just skulls. And the ground also seems to have a very cool looking texture to it. Not very colorful, very like it's just like gray and brown, but it matches the aesthetic of the realm quite well. Right? So little things like this, getting centered once again. Now that I'm not just zipping and racing through realms, trying to get them done as quickly as I can. Now that we have time to stop and smell the roses, as they say. We'll that's gonna be how we try and get back into the rhythm of playing this game a little bit, just a little bit more slowly than we had been doing previously, which might seem like a counterintuitive thing to say with a game where there's so many things to do. Playing it more slowly, you'll be like, oh well, it'll take you so much longer to 100% it. But with games like these, that's precisely why it's important to not overdo it when you're playing them. Otherwise, you'll get burned out, and then once you get burned out, it's hard to undo that without just taking a very, very long break from the game and not playing at all. We're against Caliban already. I regret fighting this guy, but I guess we do need to kill. There are lots of anointments that we can. I don't want him to resurrect on death, man, because he's already resurrecting too many times. Okay, let's not get frustrated. We chose to fight Caliban, so let's just take our medicine. And let's see what is gonna be in store for us. You know what? I'm feeling a little bit brave. Let's put him at the top of the timeline. Ooh! Please complete my experiment. Ah, okay. You know what? That's fine. Because if he had completed our experiment, that would have been nice. It would have helped us fully complete this Rune of Prophecies. But you know what? That's fine. Oh yeah, I need to clean out my nether stones. Hey, you know what? Gain 3 buffs. See if I care. What are they fused with? Familiars. I guess familiars probably have some spellcasting things going on. Immune to indirect damage would be suicidal, so I'm not gonna do that. 8? We've killed so many enemies and there's still 8 enemies? What's going on in this realm? Why are there so many enemies in this realm? Alright. The Waspid Master has gone down pretty easily. Alright. Another buried treasure. I think we need... Yeah, this is going to be our second and final one of those that we need. Alright. Do I want to do these extra combats? I'm gonna, like, we can get nether stones from fighting these extra battles. And I guess we should. Just please, I hope nobody gives me unstable horror. Conquest is fine. Probably doesn't help us, but doesn't do anything annoying either. Dumpling? Do we need to find a dumpling? We don't. I'll take him out anyway. Oh my god, come on. In the next patch, it's gonna make it so that dumplings and treasure golems aren't running away from you, which definitely is gonna make tracking them down a little bit less annoying. Okay. Getting even more of these. Yeah, I'm gonna have to... This I'll do off screen. Because even playing slow, there's some things that are so tedious that they are best done off screen, and one of those is, you know, me looking through my list of screenshots and then destroying nether stones one by one. Yeah, I think that's probably something that is best to not have in our video. Oh god. So many nether stones. So many nether stones. And our final enemy. Oh, by the way, there's a good chance that we're gonna get killed by Caliban. So it's gonna feel really bad. All the time we spend going around this realm, and then we just die. We just die because we put Caliban at the top of the timeline. Hopefully not, but it could happen. I don't know what sort of debuffs we put on him. Well, he's confused. That might help us a little bit. Alright. Okay. Okay, let's, do we want to get into, like, these battles as well? What does this do for us? Does this do anything interesting? It gives us speed? I mean... It... Sure, no loot, just speed, eh? What about these, These guys evidently are very tanky. Something apparently threw us out of our mimic loop. What the Why was that battle so difficult? I know enemies have less damage taken, but this group in particular, why did that give us such a hard time? Anyway, let's just fight Caliban and see what happens. Alright. So, Fryden needs to snare. And you need to wormhole the mimic and get our loop back in action. All right. Alright. think we're close to taking him out. Last one. Okay, there we go. Let's collect our anointment and see what it is. What do we get? Trick slots are more... I don't think that seems great. Lesser demon? Are there any other greater demons? I guess we can start collecting some lesser demons. Brim Fiends. When this minion's master attacks, it sacrifices Brim Fiends to increase damage by 50% per stack. Maximum 9 stacks. Sure, I'll take it. And we get 6,000 reputation with the Nature Guild. And I think we just head home. Sure. Let's fight this mimic, I guess. You know what? Yeah. Let's start getting into more of these battles. Getting into the habit of collecting more loot. It's best to get into this habit before the next patch comes out, because when the next patch comes out, I think it will give us more things that we can find from chests and other sources of loot. So I don't want to be I don't want to be missing out on loot just because, you know, the patch came out and I was too impatient and I just left things in realms. So what do we need to do? Lloyd Prime, okay. Oh, come on. Bounty against Lloyd Prime. And let's hand in the Keyforge, start another one. Yep, pilgrimage done as well. Is anybody at 75? Not really, but on page 2 a couple of them are. So we'll do Tenebrous, and let's do another Keyforge. And for non-False God realms, I think we're just gonna stay on Instability 0. Just because I don't think there's any reason before, like, without the patch, I don't think there's any reason. Because the only things we could find that are meaningful to us, I guess Netherstones kind of, but mainly I just want to find skins, and you can't raise your chances of finding skins because they're creature drops. So you, like, they have there's a separate math to them that's unaffected by your ordinary loot bonus. So we're not going to be able to increase our chances of doing that by stacking loot bonus. However, when the patch comes out and when it becomes possible to find duplicate cards, like, you know, extra copies of cards you've already found, then it'll make a bit more sense, because any chest, any loot source we interact with will have a chance of giving us cards, and cards are nice because each one gives you a tiny stat bonus. I think, let's look at what the... Yeah, so each 10 cards gives you a 1% stat up. So 200 gives you 20%. And so if you can find, you know, a few cards or let's say a card a realm, then I think that would be a pretty nice extra bonus on top of everything else to be putting on your stats. Alright, let's take out this dumpling and let us continue. Alright. Okay, what do we even need to do in this realm? We need to find 2 more supply things. Don't really need to fight any more enemies, so I'll try to avoid them if I can. Alright. What? Huh. Did I just leave stuff? So, well, no, there's a whole room. Hopefully this isn't a glitched realm, because there's 2 supplies that we haven't found yet. Or that we need to find, assuming that they're in the realm. Alright, so nothing down here. So there's just 1 room, and we're gonna have to hope that that 1 room has what's missing for us. Okay, good. It was close, but both of the ones we needed were in that. So that's nice. Is there anything we need to hand in? The projects are doing fine. So let's just go deeper. Judgment and Mercy is an easy boss fight. There are some bosses for which we're gonna have to switch to a different class just because they are immune to indirect damage. But these guys are not one of those. This realm, however, is annoying because these sturdy gargantuans are very, very annoying just because of their defensive trait. Swear to God, if he has a sturdy gargantuan in his party, or if they have, well, they don't. They have something even worse. They have the leech. They have the leech that makes them immune to blight. The one thing worse than oh my god. Ugh. Really? Really? Okay, come on. Come on, this was supposed to be an easy fight. Oh, what am I doing? Oh god, not the, oh no. And then... What was that? You gain stats, right? I don't even know what the point of that trait is. Sounds pretty dumb if you ask me. Anyway, let's... There we go. Now if we do this... There we go. Yeah, so Titan's Wound is a pretty bad realm for us, just because it has 2 enemies that are very annoying for us to fight. Okay. I'm tempted to just leave. 3 enemies actually, just because these Cosmic Giants also have some damage reduction shenanigans. Alright. I'm tempted to just leave, but we should find the master. Okay. Does attacking these guys do a better job for us? Not really. Not with our mimics, anyway. Yet another dumpling. And I think this is going to be a civilian giving us some treasure. Yeah. Multiple sturdy gargantuans is not the kind of thing that I enjoy seeing with this party. So there's our... Listen. Let's just... Oh, okay, the Gargantuan Master. Just a last little bit of annoying stuff right at the end of this round. Alright. Let's get this. Let's get this done. And let's just leave. Honestly, I should have just left this dumpling. Not worth it in this realm. Not worth it in this realm to get into more combat than the bare minimum that you need to just complete it and have that on the books and then just leave. Finish the realm quest, find the master, and just leave. That's the way to handle this realm, I think. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. We've got one more false god to kill. We are 32 minutes into this episode, making decent time. We had a head start of a couple realms just because I think in the last episode we spent a couple realms extra after finding the Construct Master. So it'll take us a little bit less time to fully finish these two false god fights than what it would normally require us. Alright. We gotta go into one of the mini-boss portal realms for our realm quest. So let's keep our eyes open for that. Lots of enemies as well. Well, only one left. So let's get this done. Oh, pretty huge realm. But I think we can just leave. Yeah, let's just leave. I'm getting into speed mode again, I think. It'll take a few episodes to adjust. To fully adjust to playing this game more slowly, but for now... We're, and there's nothing wrong with playing this game quickly either. I don't think we're playing too quickly, right? We're playing at the appropriate speed for the amount of things that there are for us to do at this point in the game's development, which is to say before the 2.0 patches come out. There just isn't that much to look for. Obviously, once the patch comes out, we'll probably have to think a lot more carefully. about what we're doing, what we're finding in each realm. For now, though, we can just be on autopilot. And I cannot help but notice that we just got sent back to the realm that I was just saying is probably the worst realm to be sent to with this party. So, thanks for that, game. Anyway. Do we want to do exotics? Not really. We've already got all the exotic creatures. The only thing an exotic realm does for us is gives us a couple chests. Again, this is one of those things which, in the new patch, exotic realms will give you a special currency that you can only get from exotic realms, I believe. And then you can use that currency to buy different things, I assume, like decorations and cosmetic items. And maybe a few spells and useful things as well. But at this point, you don't really get anything. If you found all the exotic creatures, you don't really get anything special. So let's just leave them alone for now. Alright, so what are we looking for? We're looking for one more group of Ossanes. We are looking for the Master as well. Masters are worth taking out. Again, if more difficult game modes are added, or maybe not game modes, but like more difficult things to do in the game, then having this mastery might be pretty good. If we have to, like, you know, create a different party that we're not used to and we need the extra few stat boosts that you get for having mastery, yeah, that'll be nice. So we will keep taking masters out every chance that we can get. Treasure Golem, I will let this guy live. Alright. Alright, what we got? Where is this last group of Ossanes? Well, there's a whole lot of map that's unexplored up here. Another stone lying on the ground, too bad it's trash. And here's our final group of Ossanes. And now we can just go to the next realm. Sounds good to me. Let's collect our buried treasure. And let's go to a new realm. Getting close to hitting realm depth 2500. That'll be a nice little milestone when we get there, which will probably happen next episode, depending on how many realms before the next false god fight. If we're one away, I'll do one extra realm next episode just to get to the 2500. So that's not a problem. Alright. Another pandemonium fight. Yeah, we get pandemonium trait materials for all of these fights that you get with the Pandemonium King and Queen. And I'm sure there's lots of interesting builds that you can make with those trait materials. Another thing to look at some point, the Pillwood's Master has gone down quickly. Alright. Okay, what do we got? Do we need any riddle dwarves? We don't. I'll talk to him anyway. Angel is life. Okay. Good. Where are these slot machines, man? There we go. And I think it is worth handing in this assassination and starting a new one. Yeah. So we'll do that. And we'll do these mini... Well, we'll do one of these mini boss rounds. Excuse me. Actually, it's not worth doing these rounds when we're not doing it on realm instability, because you don't really get anything for it. Oh yeah, I'll show you this when we get to Everett, and we get our next assassination going. Now we are assassinating the god spawns. So you can hunt them for their trade materials. So we're gonna have to go through. I mean, we don't have to, but if we want like one trade material on hand, we're gonna have to assassinate all these guys. So we just killed Elor. Now we take on Christopher Walken. And now we take on Lloyd Prime for our final realm of the episode. Pay attention, making sure I don't botch this. There we go. Take this into a random realm. I also want to check something once we get into this realm. How far are we from completing the Druid realm quests? Ooh, this is gonna be our final realm quest as well, so that's nice. Another realm. Let's just take red and blue. Brimstone, not that great, but whatever. Do I want to do gambling? I mean, sure, we are on realm instability. So we'll do this. We could get something nice. The jackpot would have been nice. And finally, Siralim. Let's see what we get. Doesn't look like we're getting anything good. Well, we gained 2 turns. But we're missing all of the squares that would give us treasure. Skip ahead. Well, actually, never mind. We gained 3 turns. And we finally got some treasure. Okay. Alright. Gotta take out 9 enemies. Well, protected, of course. I was wondering why they were taking such a long time to kill. I might leave that treasure map, that buried treasure behind, if it's too out of our way. Because we no longer need it for the Rune of Prophecies. Not sure what the deal was with those guys. You know what? Nah, not with Lloyd Prime, not with Lloyd Prime. I was gonna put him at the top of the timeline, but no. Yeah, especially if we're gonna give him a chance to avoid our damage as well. Okay. Okay. Let's do this like this. 3 enemies remain. There's one of them. And don't see where the others. Well, there's another one. Destroyed that candle. That's sad. Wanted to leave it intact, but oh well. Red and green is a good way to get treasure. What? Pink and green. It's pink and green. Okay. Red and pink is a way to get favor, I think. So yeah, the portal has opened up. Let's take out Lloyd. Easy. Easy mode. Let's collect our anointment. Army of the Damned, minions gain stacks. Ridelings, unstable horror. Battle fatigue comes sooner. After an enemy defends, one of your creatures defends as well. Doesn't seem that great. Let's take Army of the Damned. This seems like... I don't really know much about, you know, good minion builds in this game, but this seems like it could be useful. So let's take Army of the Damned. Keeping Treasure gives us another pretty terrible Nether Stone. So let's do that. Quickly screenshot that. Not even 6,000 reputation. That's okay. So yeah, we're gonna get a special new costume for the druid, and that also means we're gonna have to switch to another specialization to start making quest progress on that one. Is there anything else we want to do? We've got an achievement, Competent Druid 10. That's nice. So I think we're just good. We're gonna go home. We're gonna set a new bounty. We're gonna look at our new costume. We're gonna change specializations, and that's gonna be all for this episode. And then it'll be time to say adios for another couple days. Set bounty against... Ooh, man, I don't know. Let's do Jotun. Let's just kill him once, just to say we did. I'm sure I'll regret it when I get, you know, to recording next episode. I'll be like, what was I thinking? Why would I do this? But for now, it's seeming like a good idea, because he is one of those guys who we haven't fought that often. So what do we need to hand in? Keyforge, start another Keyforge. Let's look at our prophecies. That's looking quite nice. Slowly getting things filled in. Alright. Alright, so let's take a look at our costume for the druid. There we go. So this was tier 1, then we got tier 2, which is what we're using right now, and then we get tier 3. So what's the difference between 2 and 3 is that you get some glowing eyes. You get a red jewel on your forehead. You get some... They almost look like brown wings almost. These brown growths out of your back that look kind of like tree trunks a little bit. Looks pretty cool. And you get an extra green hula hoop kind of around you with some dots close, like some floating gems or something around it. Right? That's pretty nice. Oh yeah, no, let's actually switch to that, because we've earned it. Looks pretty nice. Walking left, walking right, looking down, looking up. So now we've seen it from all angles. Okay, so now I guess we just switch to the next specialization, the engineer. Let's just confirm that this one has achievements that remain to be done. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, engineer hasn't done a single one. So we'll be starting on that fresh. Is there anything else at all that we need to do right now? The answer being not really. So let's just take a look at some of like what progress we made this episode. We only got one achievement, but it was a pretty nice one. We got the 100th realm quest done as the druid. It gave us a costume as well. Other than that, we made progress on our achievements. So let's take a look at this. We are past 73,000 for defense, and once that's done, that'll be nice, because then we can take Guardian Force off our mimics and put a useful spell in its place. But for now, we've got to keep on doing that until we get this achievement done. How are we doing for our realm achievements? We are getting pretty close to 40,000 resource nodes and 80,000 destructible objects, so that'll be nice. And other than that, I think we're just good. So we're gonna call it good, and I'm gonna say thank you so much for watching. Hope you had a good time. Hope you're enjoying the series. Things are a bit relaxed. I don't mind if interest in the series drops off in this period before the patch comes out, just because there's just not that much left to do. But if you're enjoying the vibe, that's if you just have it on in the background while you're doing other stuff, that's cool too. But just gonna continue on at this pace until the patch comes out, just so I don't get rusty, right? Because I want the muscle memory to be intact once the patch comes out, just to make sure that we hit the ground running for that one. But yeah, for now we're just gonna we'll stay at 3 episodes a week, and I think we can stay on that until the next patch comes out. Obviously, if the patch gets delayed by a year or something, we might have to think about other options. But for now, let's just stay at this pace for a while and see what happens. Yeah. So I'm good with this for now, and hopefully you are too. But anyway, that's gonna be all for this one. Hope you had a good time. Hope I'll see you in the next one, which is gonna be on Friday. And until then, take care.